Hi, I'm Sam Hersey, and I'm here to talk to you about something that's no loafing matter. That's social loafing in virtual teams. It's a major problem in teams, whether they're teams at school, work, or even in sports. And as work today is increasingly done on project teams, minimizing social loafing has become a focus for organizations. Combining that trend towards project-based work with the increasing popularity of virtual teams has created the conditions necessary for virtual social loafers to thrive. This screencast is an attempt to define the problems of virtual social loafing and address them in a short and digestible format. So let's dive right in. Today we'll go through social loafing, its definition, and the difference between virtual loafing and the classic social loafing in person. A breakdown of the types of loafers follows, along with some of the causes of loafing online, and finally, some tips and actions you or your organization can take to make loafing less likely. So what is social loafing? It's defined as the tendency for members of a group to spend less effort together than they might spend individually. It also occurs when individuals withhold their effort because they perceive their individual contributions will not be rewarded, or when they minimize effort because they know that their individual effort is not observable or cannot be monitored as it was in a face-to-face environment. But is there a difference between social loafing in person versus virtually? Well, it is slightly more common on virtual teams, depending on how they're constructed. The causes for this will be discussed later on. Social loafers can be quickly separated into two categories. The first being deadbeats. These are the people who social loaf because they believe their individual efforts cannot be identified or monitored. Deadbeats continue to work with a team, but they limit their effort. The individuals who abandon the team, perhaps out of frustration or otherwise conflict, are referred to as deserters. Oftentimes, desertion is caused by the deserter's frustration with deadbeats. Some loafers are indeed reducing their efforts because they think they can get away with it. We can categorize those people as lazy. However, not all loafers are the same, and many lower their participation or become unresponsive just because they feel isolated or that the things that they're working on have no impact on the team's outcome. And these people are frustrated. It's important to note the distinction between these two because deadbeats and deserters respond to different strategies for reducing social loafing. So we've covered what social loafing is and the two types of social loafing. What increases the chance of loafing in virtual teams? There are a number of factors. The first being online communication tools. It's lacking in fun or playful features. Like brutalist architecture, it functions, but no one particularly enjoys spending time in it. One study found a dry or boring tool to be highly correlated with social loafing. Another cause is people finding the tool too complex or time-consuming to learn and feeling alienated by the technology. And the last two causes are common face-to-face social loafing problems, but they become even more prominent online. The first being virtual team members not establishing social bonds, and they can lead to lower participation and feelings of isolation. Long distances, multiple cultures, no shared meeting spaces, all of these things make it harder to build trust and deal with conflicts when they arrive. And finally, virtual collaboration comes with less perceived oversight, and with less oversight comes more temptation to loaf, especially for those lazy loafers. So how can we make loafing less likely? We first start team building right away. Do more than is necessary. Live chats at the beginning of meetings. Crack jokes. Use emojis when you post. Next, make sure your technology platform is playful and allows for people to make a sense of flow. It should let team members be creative and add self-expression to their work. Definitely helps keep them engaged. Your communication tool also needs to be intuitive. If people struggle to learn how to use it, it will not be something that will reduce social loafing. Also, incorporating rich media such as photos or audio clips can serve as a proxy for in-person socialization and trust building, and are especially important to utilize during the early stages of team development. Finally, creating a mixed incentive reward structure for your team that includes a mixture of team-oriented incentives and individual rewards is a good way to go. The most effective reward systems for reducing social loafing show team members that Their individual efforts are identifiable, and their efforts will be compared to other team members. Please take these tips with you to your next virtual team. And by now, I'm sure you can see social loafing is no loafing matter. Thank you for listening.